I'm Dana K. White of aslobcomesclean.com and the author of How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind and Decluttering at the Speed of Life. I'm doing a Q&A. I'm trying to do these once a month, mostly because I know that for those of us who this is not the normal way that we think, one little video is not gonna make us go, okay, I've got it now. My house is perfect. That's just not reality for most of us. I know you have more questions. I do want to do a plug for my books right here because they are the worked on for 2 years, thought out, like this is the process. It covers all of your questions, talks you through all the what ifs, all that kind of stuff. So I really do recommend them. They are both available in all formats, wherever books are sold, including audio, so you can actually listen to me talk for 6 hours while you work on your house. See, works really well. Anyway, but I cover everything in those. But here we go. I'm answering some questions. The first two that I'm gonna answer are not related, except that they both included the word sigh. I get it, you guys. I get the desire, because this was me, the desire to think through how this will play out in my home and decide ahead of time that it's not gonna work and then not even try because I've already said, well, that won't work for me, okay? Our goal is less. Less equals success. We are not going for a perfect house tomorrow. That's not the people who I'm here for. I am not here to, one quick trick, that's gonna change your house. I'm telling you guys, it's a long process, okay? So let's talk about these two questions. First of all is, what do you do with the pins that don't fit? This is talking about the video I did last week where I demonstrated and explained the container concept. The answer, donate them. I know that you don't want to hear that, and I get that. But here's the good news. You can keep anything, but you can't keep everything, okay? If your house is out of control, which I'm assuming it's a little bit out of control if you're watching me on YouTube, it's because you have too much stuff. I'm sorry, like I'm so sorry. I know you don't want to hear that, but it is not possible to get your house under control if you have more stuff in it than will actually fit, okay? So donate them or keep the pens and get rid of some other category of stuff, but you can't keep everything, okay? If you have to keep all 3 containers of pens, then you have to have space for those 3 containers of pens, which may mean that you can't keep any paints or you can't keep any, you can replace your shoe closet and just go barefoot. I don't care, but you can't keep everything. There's not a way for you to have your house be under control and have more stuff in it than will actually fit in the space that exists. Sorry, okay? The other one that is actually not a question, it's more of a statement that ends with, sigh, is 5-minute pickup doesn't work when you can't put the items away, no space to do so. Sigh. I get it, you guys. I used to think that it made no sense to do any kind of maintenance stuff when my house was out of control. Like, why would you do boring daily maintenance tasks before your house is under control? Like, it doesn't even make any sense, right? Except that I was wrong. Like for years I had tried to tackle my house as a project that I was gonna get it perfect and then I was gonna start maintaining it. And yet I never got there. And instead, when I finally was like, I don't know what to do, I'm just gonna do my dishes. I'm just gonna add these, I'm just gonna do a daily pickup. You guys, that was what actually changed my home. Not setting aside 3 weeks to get it perfect, but instead doing the dishes every day and doing a 5-minute pickup every day, okay? So go ahead and do the 5-minute pickup, even when you are absolutely convinced it cannot make a difference in your home. Take a picture, set a timer for 5 minutes, and start throwing away trash. Trash is zero emotion, Super easy. It's just an act of, don't try to imagine what would this room be like if I threw away. No, just throw away the trash. And then start taking easy stuff, meaning you know where it goes, it's just not there. Take that to its home. Don't put it off for later till after the 5 minutes. Instead, go ahead during the 5 minutes and take it to its actual home. No, you're not gonna be finished, but there's gonna be less, and less equals success, okay? So take those things to their already established homes, but you say there's no space to do so. What do you do when you take it to its home and there's no room there? All right, let's say that there is a stapler in my living room, and I know that the drawer where I would look first for the stapler, the drawer where the stapler goes, it has a home, is completely out of control. So I'd rather just ignore that and go, there's no point in taking that stapler there. But if I will go ahead and take that stapler there, all I have to do is create the space for it, okay? Most likely, here's an actual example from my life of going to my office supplies drawer and going, oh, I need to put this thing in there and there's no room for it. It's a huge cluttered mess. Instead, all I do is say, okay, what in here is trash? Because I've already got a trash bag back in the place where I was working, right? So what in here can I remove to make space for that? And when I ask myself that question, I go, oh, well, there's this box, okay, that held a whole bunch of pencils, but now there's only one pencil in it. So I can take that one pencil out, remove the box, and there's room for the stapler, and just take that box back to where I was working anyway, okay? So I'm not starting a new project. Instead, I'm just taking things where they go to their already established homes. You guys, if you don't believe me, take a picture, work for 5 minutes, take another picture, and either you'll be so thrilled that you proved me wrong, or your brain is gonna go, oh, that actually made this space better. Better is good. You guys, if you will do a 5-minute pickup every day, even though you cannot imagine that it's actually gonna make any kind of a dent in the disaster that you're dealing with, you're wrong. I'm just telling you, 5 minutes are worth it, even if you spend that 5 minutes going through my 5-step decluttering process. Okay, maybe the first day you only throw away trash. Great. That space is gonna be a lot better because you threw away trash for 5 minutes. And then the next day you think, okay, well, trash worked yesterday, and you start throwing away trash, and after 2 minutes, then, oh, well, I think I've gotten all the trash. Okay, now let me work for some easy stuff. And so for 3 minutes, you put things that already have established homes elsewhere in their homes, and the space is gonna be that much better. And I mean, even if you spend 5 minutes for 10 days throwing away trash and you still aren't done, y'all, that space is gonna be so much better than it was before, okay? So go ahead, don't decide ahead of time that a maintenance task is not worth it because you're not actually at the point where you think maintenance makes sense. Go ahead and do the maintenance now, and that is actually gonna carry your home forward and is gonna make real actual change in your home. So go ahead and do that, even though it's not perfect, because the problem with the sigh is that means you're not gonna try because you've already decided it doesn't work. Go ahead and try it. Give it a shot. See what happens. Prove me wrong. I'm not wrong. Okay, 2 other things that I'm gonna cover here. What about when you see everything as valuable? Like it's torture to get rid of something. I understand, we talked about this kind of in the last one, is this, what do you do with the pens that don't fit? Because I love pens or whatever. Another question that's related to this that I'm gonna answer at the same time is, how do you help your kids through this process? Remember that just because something is valuable doesn't mean you have to have it in your home. You can acknowledge that something is valuable, you can appreciate that something is valuable, and also acknowledge the reality that in order for your house to be under control, you can't have more stuff than will fit in it, okay? Because here's the problem. You may say, but this item is valuable, and yet my house is making me crazy and feel frustrated, and I'm so down on myself because my house is out of control. That takes away from the value of that item, right? So you say, this item is valuable to me, but it's causing problems in your house, which diminishes its value. Here's an example. Saving 1 outfit or 2 outfits of your kids' clothes from when they were babies is like, I value this item, Okay, and it's all happy feelings because one baby outfit doesn't take up hardly any room. I've got them on the top shelf of my master bedroom closet. And so every once in a while I'm doing something up there and I see them and I go, okay, because they are only providing me joy because they're not making life any harder for them to take up a teeny bit of space in that area. But if I have 6 huge boxes full of everything my kid ever wore, or some of it that they never even got to wearing when they were babies, in my garage, and every time I walk through there, I stub my toe, I feel negative feelings toward those boxes. That's not actually valuing that item. Instead, it's letting that item frustrate me, which really defeats this whole purpose and actually is not me valuing that item. If I can't park in my garage because of those boxes, if I don't have room for the things that we really do need because I'm keeping stuff that literally these kids will never be able to wear again, I'm only keeping them for feelings, but the feelings I'm feeling toward them are frustrating and all that. So rethink how you value something. And remember, you can keep anything, you just can't keep everything. And blame the container, let the container be the bad guy. With the kids thing, you go through the exact same process, but you say, here's the space that we have for your Hot Wheels cars, okay? That's a fun thing to say, hey, here's a space that we've got for this. We value these things. Yes, put your favorite ones in there first. And then just whatever doesn't fit, then, we'll have to get rid of those. But yeah, put your favorite ones in there first. That's fun, putting your favorite ones in. And then when the space is full, you say, okay, all right, well, the space is full. So we'll get rid of these other ones. I know you don't believe it, but it really does work really well with children and with me to do that, okay? To go through that process. Go ahead and give it a shot. Don't sigh ahead of time and decide it's not gonna work. Just try it. But then if they go, well, but that one right there, that's my absolute favorite. Your answer is, oh, sure, yeah, you can totally keep that. What are you willing to get rid of to, which one can you get rid of so that we can have room for that one? Like, it lets the container be the bad guy. You don't have to be the one saying, why would you keep that one over that? Here's the thing, they get to pick what goes in their container. They may pick things that are different from what you think they should keep, but it's their container, and letting that be the limit is huge, okay? And then if they say, no, I have to keep all my Matchbox cars. Okay, sure, absolutely, you can do that. Okay, so do you wanna get rid of your stuffed animals so that we have room to keep, to put another container of Matchbox cars? Well, I don't wanna do that. Oh, okay. Well, there's just not room. Like, it's not me. I would totally let you keep it all. But it's not me, it's just, the space. So the answer is always yes, you can keep that, but you let the container be the bad guy and show that you can't keep everything. Had several questions about how do you choose the right container? How do you apply the container when you currently have tons of containers all full everywhere, blah, blah, blah. I want to make sure you understand that the container concept is the last step in my decluttering process. It's not the first step. It is the step that you apply after you are down to only what actually goes in this space, because you would look for it first in this space. It's the last one. The first 4 steps help you get the things out of that space that aren't supposed to be there. The first step is trash, so you pull out the trash. Second step is easy stuff that has an established home somewhere else in your house. It's just not there for whatever reason, you take it to its home. The third step is anything that, well, obviously this needs to go. The fourth step is asking the decluttering questions. If you don't know where something goes, if it doesn't have an established home, then those decluttering questions will help you know what the home should be for it, and then you take it there now. And the last step is, okay, we are down to only what actually goes in this space. So don't start with the container concept. If you have containers overflowing, y'all, overflowing containers and piles attract random other stuff. So go through the decluttering process. Look for trash, pull things out until you are down to only what actually is really supposed to go in this space, and then you apply the container concept. Make sense? Which often means that if you look at a crazy overwhelming space and you're only thinking about the container concept, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to get rid of so many pens. I don't want to get rid of so many pins, so I just don't want to start. But if you will do the first 4 steps first, you're gonna be able to keep probably more pins because there's gonna be opened up space because of all the stuff that you got rid of. And remember too, that all of my steps are non-emotional. They are fact-based and instinct-based, okay? Here's a good question, because I get this one a lot too. What if I have plenty of space? That is where all of this works together. Remember the Clutter Threshold video? Go back and watch that one as well. Because it's not about, the container concept is not about packing stuff full. It's letting spaces be limits, but you also have to acknowledge your clutter threshold. What can you handle? Do you have the kind of personality that can have a lot of stuff in a space, all purged down to the limits of the space, and be able to get out what you need and rearrange it, okay, in order for it to not then just immediately fall out of control? I don't have that personality. Okay, I have the personality that's like, what do I need? And I just grab it and I never think about rearranging it and making it perfect before I walk away. So I need to have less stuff so that I can see what I need and get to it without having to move other things. Okay, so all of the clutter threshold, everything goes together. That's why you need the books. Okay, I am gonna finish up with 2 complaints that I honestly, these are like the best compliments of my life. Like, it means so much to me that people complained about this, okay? So this is talking about the video where I talked about the 2 tasks, and I was in my kitchen and I cleaned up my kitchen, and then I did a 5-minute pickup, and I did like the dining room that was behind me. Sorry, you're not even touching what a disaster is. Looking around where you are, your home doesn't look in disaster status. Thank you. And there's another one like that. Oh, those were 2 things. I'm sorry. Those were 2 things. Sorry, you're not even touching what a disaster is. And the second one was looking around, your home doesn't look in disaster status. Thank you so much. You guys, I mean, that's a huge compliment. Here's what I want to say. I know I've recommended the books, but I know some of you are never going to read a book. Guys, go watch my old videos. Like, that'll show you what disaster status is my old videos. The whole point of doing a 5-minute pickup every day, the whole point of doing a day's worth of dishes is to keep your home out of disaster status. I've been there. This is what works, you guys. You are seeing right now, if I still had disaster status all the time, it still happens, don't worry. But if it was still constant, why would I be doing these videos? Like, if that was my constant way to live, then I want to give you this hope that yes, it is possible to change. But I do want to say, go back and read. Go back and watch my old videos. Go back to my website, aslobcomesclean.com, and click on, I think it's Get Started or New Here or something, and it shows you how to start at the beginning, back in August of 2009, where I was like, I don't know why this is so hard for me, and I'm just gonna try to figure it out. And I just wrote every single day, and I showed all kinds of pictures of real disaster status, because I get it, guys, I get it. I was always like, yeah, you have no idea what my starting point is. If you don't believe me, go back and read, okay? Go back and watch those old videos, which that was even still like 2 years into having done this. And so, it wasn't quite as bad as it was before I started, but go back and read that, because the goal here is that you get it to the point where it's not in disaster status, okay? And that's how you do it, is the daily tasks. That's what makes all the difference. So thank you for those compliments. I don't feel like they were meant as compliments, but I'm gonna take them that way anyway. All right, so go check out my T-shirts. This is a, like I said, get rid of an old one, stick it in your donate box or cut it up for rags when you get a new T-shirt. You can go to amazon.com/shop/aslobcomesclean, and I've got them listed there. I'm just having a lot of fun with that. Just a couple things. This is the men's 2X. It's embarrassing to say on the internet, right? But anyway, they are not the big boxy kind. I mean, I could do them in that, but I do them in this kind. This is a men's 2X. The women's kind I haven't tried, but I tend to think that sometimes women's cuts are a little, and I don't like clothes. So anyway, I also, the heather, you can get them in all different colors, but the heather seems to last longer because it's like a poly cotton mix. But there are also, you can get things in solid colors that are 100% cotton. Those just show wear a little bit sooner. So anyway, okay, I hope this was helpful. I don't know, I had to start like 3 times doing this video. I will talk to you guys next week.